What is up and welcome back. In this video I am going to show you the in and out. Now some of you guys and gals might already have an in and out, but in this video I am going to show you how you can improve your in and out a whole lot better, and also maybe show you a few techniques that you didn't know about. We're going to cover footwork and also some upper body movements. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the first thing I do want to talk about is a lot of you guys have really weak in and outs, and they kind of look like this, like that. Okay, you're standing straight up and then you do the movement with your hand. Okay, maybe you do a little bit of footwork at the bottom right after you do the in and out, but that's not going to be too convincing. And think about it, does it look like you're going anywhere when you're standing straight up? So try to correct that. Let's try to have a lower stance, okay? Because look, like this, it kind of looks like you're going somewhere, right? So you're gonna have that defender kind of guessing where you're going to go. And so you're trying to do an in and out, you're trying to figure you're going this way, right? So when you're like this, it does kind of look like you're going in that direction, okay? So adjusting your height, again, this is straight up. And if you think about it, can you go really fast standing straight up? Most likely not. Nobody runs standing straight up. They sort of have like a little bit of an angle, right? So try to have a little bit of that angle like this. You see that? More effective, okay? So make sure you're at an appropriate height, one where you feel you can take off, okay? So the next thing we're going to talk about is the one step versus the two step. So a lot of guys and gals do in and out that looks like this, right? I do like that. I use it myself from time to time, right? And you take off. So the one step is very good. So make sure that if you are doing the one step motion, that you're having your upper body move with you, okay? Because look, on the one step, what's really gonna sell it? It's gonna be more the upper body. And of course, where the ball is at, that arm, right? You wanna make sure you're kind of leaning like that. You see that? That you're going like that. That you're leaning in this direction, then you're going the opposite, okay? You see how that looks more effective than just going and then taking off, okay? So have your body shifting this direction just for a little bit, then you go over here, okay? Like that, all right? So that right there is going to be a nice way to do it in and out. It might be a little bit more advanced for you, so if you're just starting off, make sure you're moving the ball across your frame a little bit more. Not just like that, you see? Try to move a little bit more, okay? And then have your foot kind of mimic that when you're kind of the halfway mark. See that? And then take off. So that's going to be the one step. Now I am going to show you the two step. Now I do love the two step because it looks a little bit more fancier, and it kind of does shake the defenders off from time to time. And it's because it kind of looks like a crossover, right? When people do the crossover, they go like that. So that two step is going to look like this, 1, 2. Okay, one more time. You see that? Okay, so that's going to be the two step motion, 1, 2. All right, so it's just two steps. So you can practice that actually without the ball, right? You can be, in a way, it's kind of like a football move, 1, 2. Okay, and that's kind of like a little secret how you can get fast, because if you think about it, right, you got that defender in front of you and and you take off. Okay, so get that two step motion down, and then you're gone, just like a football player, a wide receiver. But in this case, we're playing basketball, so you see that? Okay, so same rules apply. Make sure you're slowing the move with your eyesight, with the upper body, right? So your body's leaning a little bit this way when you're doing it. Eyesight looks like you're driving this way, and then you switch over this way. So do it slow. You see that? In and out, in and out, going that way. Now I do want to add this right here. Make sure you're fast, okay? Now some of you guys, and gals, you can be on this white line and the defender's at the red line, okay? And some players aren't fast just off the spot, off the line, right? I noticed because I've seen lots of players. Some players need a little bit of space. So identify what kind of player you are. If you can be fast from right here, right? And you're able to get past that defender, use that space, right? The closer the better maybe for you. But if it does take you a little bit space to get rid of speed, just take that little extra half step or maybe a full step, right? Because it can make a big difference. Right, you're right here, the two step, you take off, right? Maybe you're not quick enough like we said. It's just that little extra space can help you out a whole lot, okay? So, and actually in that version, I did do a little bit different. I did do a hard jab with my left foot, okay? And that's something I want to talk about in this video as well, right? So when you are taking the steps, right, on the one step you really can't jab with it, right? Because you're going like this and taking off. But when you're going like this, then taking off, right? But when you are doing two steps, you can go like this. Look, you see that? Kind of jabbing like this, but the in and out's coming this way, okay? Or you can do it without the jab, where you just go like that. You're more like stepping, right? You're more like stepping and then going like that. So that's like a smooth transition. You're going like that. But you can jab with it also and go like that. You see that little pause? Okay, so want to make sure I didn't forget that, right? So now you have a couple different options, right? You got the one step, the two step, and now you can do the two step with that little pause, that little jab, okay? So all those combinations are going to help out a whole lot, because the whole point is being shifty, so your defender doesn't know what you're going to do next, right? So you're being very unpredictable, okay? And that's the whole point of basketball, okay? So the last thing I want to talk about that you can add to your bag is going to be learning how to flick with the in and out. Now in a different video I did talk about a whole bunch of different ways how to be deceptive with the ball dribble, right? And I talked about the flick. Briefly I talked about that you can flick the in and out. Now I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that, right? So when you do an in and out, a lot of people have the ball stuck to their hand like this. You see that? The 1, 2, the 1, the little jab, pause right there. But you can also flick and it looks like this. You saw that? So that's going in and out and then flicking the ball, right? And that can throw some defenders off, not all of them, right? The two step, see that? Okay, a little bit more movement this way, see that? Okay, so there's a purpose and details to everything. So before we keep moving on with the flick, make sure you practice this movement, right? This technique. Because if you try to do it in game without having it practiced a whole lot, there's a good possibility that you might not have good control and get it stolen, or maybe you throw it to the defense or out of bounds or something, right? So make sure that you practice it and you get good control. So you can do that like this. Just go, see, in and out, you're flicking, in and out, and flicking, flicking. You see that? Like that. Okay. Once you get comfortable with this technique, then you can apply it to different situations. So, for one, if you do have two defenders and you're trying to split the defense, this works good a whole lot because it does look like you're trying to go around that player, right? You got two players right here. Kind of look like you're trying to go around to keep going, right? But instead, you can go like that and flick through the middle, okay? That's one way to do it. I do like using it during the screen. When I have one of my teammates set a screen, sometimes behind that player, I'll go like this and keep going, right? Because maybe that defensive player is looking past my screen and you can see my whole body going like this, right? But you don't expect I'm gonna flick back this way and keep going. So that's another method. And obviously you can do the one-on-one, but again, I don't suggest that when you have a player right in front of you that you do that flick if you're not very comfortable with it, because you have to have very good ball control. You gotta sell that, and then you're flicking it and you're exposing the ball. The ball's not gonna be stuck to your hand anymore, right? When you're like this, look, the ball's stuck to your hand. When you flick, sometimes you won't even have the ball. Then you're gonna come back this way. So that's gonna do it for the in and out. You saw different variations, some that are more easier and some that are a little bit more advanced. Make sure you're adding this to your game because you're trying to be unpredictable, right? You're trying to throw your defenders off. So the more variations and more moves that you have, the game's gonna become a lot easier for you. And also, before I go, I didn't want to forget to mention that if you are learning something from these videos and you are liking what you're seeing, please sub. It does really motivate me to get more videos out to everybody, and we do appreciate everybody stopping by. So with that said, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.